Hey, hey. Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday and wow, happy National Infertility Awareness Week. I am so excited. I see you guys coming in the room. This is such a special Warrior Wednesdays today. It's an amazing week. There is a lot going on in the world today. I want to send a lot of prayers to George Floyd's family, to everyone that is affected by the violence, to all of the change that still needs to happen. Prayers up for accountability, but justice will be served when we stop getting killed. And I just needed to say that. But this show today is about National Infertility Awareness Week and the beautiful Black and brown and melanated women that are in this community as bloggers, as advocates, as women that are giving grants for foundations and helping the community of people that are affected by infertility and making sure that their stories are heard, that they know that there are resources out there. And I'm just like super, super lucky because I'm being joined by like a dozen of them. So this Warrior Wednesdays is called You Should Know, because there are a lot of people out there that you should know that are in the infertility community, and we're banding together to celebrate Infertility Awareness Week today, and I'm gonna bring them all to you, and I'm just so honored and blessed that they trust me to be able to do this. We about to have a party, so I want everybody to put flowers in the chat because we're gonna give all of these fertility bloggers and advocates their flowers today. If there is somebody that you know out there that needs to see this show to hear about all of the different women that are here with holistic care and, like I said, giving away grants and have websites and they know all the legislation, they know things, okay? So if you know somebody that needs to see this, I need you to send them this live so that they get on here and they know that they are not alone. Mama Stu is in the building, y'all. I see her flowers, Phenomenally Autistic, is in the building. What's going on? You guys tell me where you are from as well so I can know. Oh, I'm so excited. This is going to be so, so good. We Can Wear White is in the building. Niecy Nash, my sister, is in the building. All the mamas in here. I love it. We love you, Miss Niecy Nash. You know, I am hosting for United for Resolve on Thursday. That's tomorrow, the 22nd, for the National Infertility Awareness Week event. I need to ask my sister who just guest hosted for The Masked Singer. You know her. She did Black Girls Rock. You know, Niecy Nash. I need to ask her how to host because, you know, I got 24 hours to figure out my hosting game. All right, so thank you guys for being here. Houston is in the building. I see you. We got Kenya is in the building. Somebody from Kenya, from the UK. Vanessa Hay is in the building. You guys are going to meet her soon. Here come the flowers. So let me get a couple of people in here. I need all of my ladies to request in. All of my ladies request in so I can find you and do the thing. So as soon as you're here, Baltimore's in the building. That's Dr. Camille Hammond. You're going to see Atlanta's in the building. Make sure you guys that are coming on with me, the ladies, request in so that you are in the queue. And let's get it started. All right, I got some ladies to bring on so that you guys can meet them. Here we go. I'm going to bring in this lady and see if she comes on in the building. This is one of my dear, dear friends, Miss Shaquita Lockley from
Hey, sister. Hello.
How are you? You guys, you should know Shaquita Lockley. She is the creator and the director of Eggs Over Easy Film. It is a documentary film about infertility and Black women in particular, specifically. And just really quick to let them know, I met Shaquita because I was doing a movie with Keisha Knight Pulliam.
Yes.
And we was hanging out in my trailer. And she was like, yo, my homegirl's doing this thing and you froze your eggs. Like, you got to be in this thing. So the next thing I know, I'm talking to this young lady, Shaquita Lockley. And it was you, myself, and Miss Andra Day, who's about to be a
we know she about to be an Oscar
Get an
winner,
Oscar.
is also in your movie. So tell them about yourself because they should know you.
Well, I'm a filmmaker. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Independent film, been doing it for a while now. And I didn't plan on doing this particular film, but when my doctor asked me I think I was 41, what I wanted to do with my eggs, I had no idea what she was talking about. So I started researching and found out my friends had no idea what she was talking about either. So my goal was to do a short. It was going to be like 10 to 15 minutes. And then everybody would say, oh, you know my friend, or you know my cousin, or remember that girl from brunch. Everybody had a story somewhere on the fertility spectrum, whether it was child-free by choice, which basically means if you want to tie your tubes in America and Canada, you're going to be hard-pressed to do that if you're under 40 and you don't have a husband to sign off on it, assuming that you have a husband or that you're straight. How about that?
How about that?
So you have to do that or have a psych evaluation. I didn't know any of this.
Say that again. You have to have a psych evaluation if you want.
Psych evaluation and permission from your husband, assuming you have one and you're straight.
Well, I just want to stop you real quick because Mama Stu, go ahead and go off in the comments, Mama Stu.
Hey, Mama
because
Stu.
Mama Stu's in the building, and my parents almost got divorced because she's gonna laugh at this because she was done having kids after she had me, y'all, and they said that my father had to sign for permission for my mother to tie her tube so she would be finished, and she was like, either you sign that paper or you no longer have a wife.
Okay.
And
think about how long ago that was. And this is now 2021 and nothing has changed.
Nothing
because the doctors, they're nervous about insurance liability. So anyway, from that end of the spectrum all the way to friends who needed a surrogate or who used surrogacy to complete their families. Everything in between, fibroids, endo, PCOS, all of these things were happening amongst me and my friends. So we're talking maybe age 30 to 45, which is about a 15-year window. And half the stuff that was happening to us, we should have started that when we were 25, 26, 27. So the goal with the documentary, which ended up being an hour and which ended up being 5 hours, but we dialed it back to an hour and a half.
We did what we had to do.
But with the film, we're trying to, yes, Gen X, you need to know this stuff because you're on the top end of those numbers. But if you're 25, 26, 27, you should know the things you got to pay for coming up within a 5 to 10 year window. So we just started talking about it late, but better late than never. So
better late than never.
And
you have been on the mission. I need everybody to follow Eggs Over Easy Film. Follow Shaquita Lockley. She's such an advocate out there. She also talked about a recent myomectomy that she had, and she just keeps doing the damn thing. So look, girl, you know everybody in this world. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring on some other people that you know. Hold on a second here. I think this beautiful brown woman that's about to come on, y'all, is a fertility advocate. Honey, she will pray your fertility. Hey! Regina Townsend. Everybody, this is Regina Townsend from the Broken Brown Egg. She is an amazing advocate. She is an amazing speaker. She is an amazing woman of God. She is a mother. She is a wife. Hi, Regina Townsend. Welcome. You guys should know her.
Hey, y'all. This is the bright spot of my day. You know that because I'm on the struggle bus today. I literally just left work early because I needed a day to be black because my mental health was struggling. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have to take I'm black half a day because I can't. And I know we're talking about fertility, but I just want to say literally what I just posted. It is very difficult to advocate for the creation of black life in a world that is constantly showing us that black lives do not matter the same. And that is what has been driving me crazy. I was at work, and you all know I'm a librarian. I'm a teen librarian, and I saw the story of Ma'Khia Bryant, and I thought of every teenage girl that comes in there who has a smart, slick mouth and says something she ain't got no business, and they call me down to de-escalate the situation. And I think of every time that I've de-escalated a situation with teenagers, and everybody leaves alive. And I was just so mad because here I am trying to advocate and support black people who are trying to build families. and I constantly have to see how much grief we have to have collectively as a family. So I know that's not where we're at today.
No, it
but
is.
I just have to say,
Listen,
this has been on me.
listen, listen, friend, and you guys, I want you to follow Regina at the Broken Brown Egg on Instagram. Like I said, this is about the people that you should know. We keep it very, very real on Warriors.
Yes.
You know how it is. I believe it is God's design. I specifically speak to Black and brown women about fertility. Y'all know what's up. So this is something that it is about that, Regina. It is about it. That is why your voice is so needed in this community, because as we, like you just said, as we advocate and we fight for Black and brown people to be able to build their families and to show them the options to do that, how do we do that knowing that when they walk outside of this door, they are not as safe as their white counterparts or anything else, and that we turn on the TV, we get a verdict and a shooting
At the same time,
simultaneously? It's too much. It's too much.
And then to be thinking, well, what? And I literally, Jabari and I just had a conversation last weekend about our frozen embryos and what we want to do. And that's like, you have to constantly be thinking about that. Plus, I have a Black son now who is the product of IVF. And so in my mind, I be thinking, as hard as I work to bring this boy onto this earth,
right?
Play with me if you want to, mess around and find out. Like, my mind has to think about all of that. And so I'm so excited that you're doing this, Kellee. I'm so excited that you have Launch Warrior Wednesdays, because it is so important for people to hear all of these stories, because we are trying to navigate seeking joy, seeking purpose, while constantly having to suppress the parts of us that are in despair all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And I get people who still say, well, why do you need to talk about Black people and infertility? It's all of us. We all got the same, we struggling. Infertility, yes. But the medical and health disparities, no. The racism and the implicit bias, no. The constant fear and racial trauma, no. So don't miss me with that.
Miss me with all of that. I'm not even a mother yet, and I cry thinking about the Black mothers and fathers that are out there saying, my God, every time that door closes, is my child going to come home alive? And so it is very, very difficult. And it is we are birthing people that are not safe in the world that we are bringing them into. It is a reality. It is a traumatic reality. It is something that we have to deal with. And I want to say thank you, Regina, for bringing it up. I want to see, this is why y'all need to know. This is why y'all need to know these women, these advocates that are out here, because we are keeping it 100. We're not just about, go get your IVF, girl, go get your IUI, girl, you're going to have that baby. It's like, we have to think about different things as Black people in this daggone country, and we're tired. We're tired. But one thing that they are not going to do is take our joy and take our community at all. And they are not going to take our voice in the infertility community. And that is why we are here today. So I just want to say thank you to you lovely ladies for being here. I'm going to bring on some other people. Regina, you drop the mic. Chiquita, you drop the mic. And I just want to say I love y'all. Thank you so much for being here. And let's just keep it popping. I'm going to bring on some other women that these women need to know.
So much. Kellee, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing and needed and necessary. Don't ever doubt what God has put on you to do, because it is important. It is so, so important. I'm so proud of what you're doing.
Thank you.
I will talk to you all. I'm going to go. I'm going to take some time to just get me together, but I just love you all.
Wine, Regina.
Get some wine. Listen, because Regina, one of the things, and I'm going to bring some other people on, Regina and I did something for Sarah Jakes Roberts for Women Evolve. And one of the things that really made me think that we all need to come together and show everybody that they're Black fertility bloggers and advocates, we're out here, is that the young woman that was on that with us, Regina, was saying, I don't know where to get the information.
Yeah.
I don't know where to source it. And we're like, we are all here. And people need to know that this is the face. This is the face of infertility. This is the face of Black Lives Matter. This is the face of being a woman. This is it's us. It's us. So it's so important that we come together as advocates into this community and say, we're stronger together. I can't do warriors without y'all. Y'all be in the comments every week making sure nobody pops off.
Listen, we'll get somebody together quick. Like, first of all, what we're not going to do is exactly that, what you're trying to do. Take that up out here.
Exactly.
We're not going to
Ever. Okay, you guys follow the Broken Brown Egg, Regina Townsend. Thank you for stopping by. Shaquita Lockley at Eggs Over Easy Film. I love you, girl. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for all your advocacy and everything you do. I love you to death.
Thank you. Love you.
I love you, baby. Mwah! All right, Shaquita is going to log out, and then I am going to bring some other lovely ladies onto this thing here. We figure out now. Y'all pray for me. Shaquita, you know how to press your X?
I
can. Let me see if I can get them on with you, but I don't see.
Hold on. I'll go out. I'll just come back in, but I'm gonna go out completely, and that'll take
back
me
in. Let me see if that lets me find them on my queue again. Ooh, I love her. Okay, yes, it did. For some reason, I couldn't see people for a minute, so let me get some more ladies in here. See, I hope that they went ahead. Let me see what else I got. I got some beautiful women that are coming here. Hey, Dr. Camille Hammond is in the building from We Can Wear White. Hello.
Yes. Hi, Kellee. You're so beautiful. I'm so happy to be here.
As are you. I know we have a phone call coming up on the books. We got things that we need to talk about.
Yes.
But I'm so glad you're here. Can you please introduce yourself to everybody at Warrior Wednesdays? Let them know who you are and what you are about.
Yes, Queen. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Tanika Gray Valbrun of the White Dress Project. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to raising the awareness of uterine fibroids. And we are just all about building a community and supporting women and allowing them to know that they do not have to suffer in silence with fibroids. So happy to be joining you.
Did I call you Dr. Camille? And it's
you
Tanika?
did, but I mean, I'm honored.
No, but you got
Camille.
She's everything. Listen, y'all, forgive me. I'm so sorry, Tanika. There is a lot of women, which is what's great. There's a lot of women on here, and I ain't got my glasses on, which is part of my problem. But so this Tanika. So so tell us even more. How long have you been in this community? How long have you been doing this?
Yeah, so I started the White Dress Project in 2015, and really, I created this whole organization for me. I wanted support for myself, and I couldn't understand why there were so many women in my community, my aunts, my cousins, my mom, who all have fibroids, but we weren't talking about it on the national level. So I wanted to make sure that I felt supported, and I knew that if I needed support, then other women needed support. So that's really why I started the organization. And, you know, the fertility journey for me is ongoing. I've had 2 myomectomy surgeries, and as I speak to you right now, I still have fibroids and still on my journey to motherhood. So it has been a struggle and a challenge, as many people in this community know. You know, I've had 2 failed embryo transfers, but I'm still hopeful. I know that I will be a mother in some capacity. I love what the ladies were saying earlier about we got to normalize some things. We have to normalize IVF, egg freezing, donor eggs, surrogacy, all of it.
You know what? I tell people all the time, because I froze my eggs, that they say, well, I can't afford it. It's cute for you, but it's not for me. And I tell them all the time, listen, the same way you go to baby showers, the same way you go to wedding showers, throw yourself an egg shower.
Yes.
Throw yourself
All
an egg
about
shower. And we need to normalize the way that we celebrate how we become parents, because not everybody does it in the same way. I'm so honored and grateful that, now can you tell everybody that might be joining that doesn't know what a fibroid is? We know it's a non-cancerous tumor in the uterus, but can you tell them what that is, and also what a myomectomy is, just for the folks that might need to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you mentioned, fibroids are benign tumors that can grow in and around the uterus, and they can cause, right? And to your point, yes, they can be a size of a grapefruit, size of a cantaloupe. They can be plum sizes, so small. So when you're learning about fibroids, size and location are what is important, because you definitely will hear people talk about getting pregnant and having fibroids and having a successful pregnancy. But there are other cases like mine where my fibroids are in the muscle and have been in the past in the cavity. So the same place that a baby is going to implant, the fibroids are there as well. So it prevents implantation. So they can cause heavy bleeding, they can cause bloating. You never feel comfortable wearing white, which is hence the name of the organization, right? So yeah, we just want to make sure that women know that, and they are getting a second opinion. There are so many statistics about how Black women, which fibroids disproportionately affects Black women. I must say that if you have a uterus, you can get fibroids, but we have to talk about the disproportionate impact that fibroids has on Black women. Yes, 90%.
90%. And there's something else that we need to say to this too, because for the people that are mothers, aunties, grandmothers, when we have difficult periods as youth, as young girls that are staying home from school because they're bleeding heavily, don't tell them that's just your period. Exactly. That's just how it is. Our period, as Dr. Cindy M. Duke would say, is a vital sign. It is an indication when you have heavy periods like that, that something else is going on, that there is an underlying condition, which sometimes is fibroids, like you said, and it affects us far more. And speaking of, Miss Tanika, let me see if I can bring somebody else on here that I know has something to say about fibroids in general. Let's see here. Just to join the community of women that you know. So you guys, we can find you at we can wear white, right? We can wear white.
Yes, I'm going to put it in the chat. Yep, absolutely.
Put it in the chat and follow you guys. Follow Tanika at We Can Wear White, because she is doing a bunch of work out there. And I see you in your white. I got a little bit of white on today.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate you.
I got a little bit of white on today. And let me see if these other ladies are going to come on. Let's see if let me see here. Now, y'all got to pray for Instagram. See, somebody might not have updated their phone. And if they didn't,
you got to go to settings.
That's the thing. So I was going to I'm trying to bring on, let me see one more time. If they can't get in, you guys, ladies, if you have to update your phone, hopefully. Nichelle Polston. Nichelle Polston just said she can't get in. She said, yikes. Coach Jesse, I don't know if you updated as well.
We got to hear from those ladies.
We got to hear
Jesse,
from them.
Nichelle, her normal.
I hope so. Let's see. We're trying one more time. So y'all pray for us, because we out here doing the Lord's work during National Infertility National Infertility Awareness Week, and I don't know who won't let me. And She Shall Reign says it won't let me. So you know what?
Do you need me to come out?
I'm gonna need you to come out, but maybe you can come. Maybe you can come back in if you can hang. And say hi after they. Because some of them might be, see, here go Nichelle Polston, y'all. Now, Nichelle Polston, you guys, is a board member at Resolve, and she's also the founder of Her Normal, and she also has a myomectomy story. So she's saying that she's going to update. But while they do that, I'm going to bring them in. If you can hang out, we'll bring you back.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Queen, for the time.
Absolutely.
Bye.
You guys follow. We Can Wear White. Thank you so much, Tanika. Thank you. You should know her. You should know a lot of these beautiful women. So let me see if I can get somebody in here. Regina Townsend said, back off, devil. Exactly. The devil. Hey, Miss Vanessa, hey, all the way from The UK, you guys. Vanessa is across all of the oceans, and she is here on Warrior Wednesdays. Happy National Infertility Awareness Week.
Same to you. How are you?
I am well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Sebastian's in bed right now, so I've got like the kitchen to myself. I'm in the kitchen today because my husband's upstairs having his own meeting.
Wonderful. And what time is it there?
Oh, it is 8:26 in the evening.
26 in the evening. Well, you have been doing like so much amazing work in the UK, and you've been on Warrior Wednesdays with an amazing story. I always love thinking about the time that you had a dream that God told you you are a mother, and your beautiful angel baby was seen by you in that dream. But can you tell everybody about Vanessa Hay, what you do,
Absolutely.
how you got a part of this community?
I don't know why I struggle to tell people about myself, because it's almost like, who am I actually? Who's Vanessa? Do you know what? Simply being like I have had my own struggles with fertility, and it all started when I got married in 2014. We were open. I've been with my husband for years before we got married, so we were open to having kids soon after. Things weren't happening, and we were told that we have unexplained infertility, or for what some of the women call it in our community, unexplored infertility. And I don't want to kind of go for time reasons. I don't want to go into like how it works in the UK, but we have to go through a GP first, a general practitioner, and then they kind of try and diagnose what the issue is, and then they kind of tell you to go to a specialist, and that's what it was for us. So before I went to a specialist or specialist clinic to sort out the issues, they put me on Clomid, which didn't help me ovulate. I was on it for about 6 months. Then I had to kind of move forward. So obviously the more invasive stuff. So the first one being an IUI, and the second, well, the IUI didn't work. I only had one cycle of that. And by the way, I'm not rubbing it in, but all of this was free on the NHS, because if you meet a certain criteria in the UK, you can get the treatment for free. So that's why I really have a heart for the US ladies, because, you know, with how much you're putting towards that treatment, sometimes it doesn't even work. And I'm fortunate to be in a situation where I have the NHS that can fund the treatment so anyway, that, you know, the treatment was free, the IUI didn't work, and then we went straight on to IVF. Both of my cycles were successful. So the first cycle was successful, but it was early miscarriage. And that's a cycle where I had a dream that the pregnancy test didn't say I'm pregnant, it said I'm a mother. So even though that, I love this story, because even though I went to the clinic on official test day and they said, we're sorry, it didn't work, I was like, you need to do a blood test. Even though the urine test is negative, you need to do a blood test. I saw what I saw, and I know what God said. I know those prayers, and I know the faith items. We talk about faith items on Warrior Wednesdays. I had 2 baby grows, pink and blue. You know, I said, I've prayed these. I've actually started my nursery. I said, do the blood test and tell me that I'm pregnant. 4 hours later, they called me and said, Vanessa, how are you feeling? And I was like, I'm really sad that it didn't work. But what you got to tell me? And they were like, well, we did a blood test and it's positive. You are pregnant. A couple of hours later, obviously that resulted in a miscarriage, but that was fine, because for me, I had to look at it this way, that even though it didn't result in a live pregnancy and a baby that I was holding 9 months later, God said what he said he would do.
See, I just have to say, and I'm going to bring somebody else on, but I want you guys to hear what happened is that they had the implantation and they told her it did not work. But Vanessa had a dream that God told her, you are a mother. So she insisted that they do a blood test. After they're telling her the urine test, it didn't work. She insisted that they do a blood test, and found out that she was in fact pregnant, unfortunately miscarrying. But what we cried on that Warrior Wednesdays, honey. You guys can go to warrior-wednesdays.com and see Vanessa's episode. But what we really dove into in your episode is the fact that you listened and you believed and you knew what God said, so that you could acknowledge your baby before that baby went back to God. And you insisted they acknowledge your child. And that is just a beautiful thing. You guys always hear God's voice in it. And so, Vanessa, I'm going to bring some other people on, but I also want to know if you can, let's see here, if you can tell us about your advocacy that you do over there in the UK.
Absolutely. I'm just saying hi to everyone that's sending love, by the way. Hi, Regina. Hi, April, Christina. Hi, Nichelle, both of Nichelle's. So I guess the advocacy really is telling my story for what it is. And that started in 2018. I think one thing that I found about the journey, Kellee, is that there's some things that you never get to keep to yourself. When you're going through IVF, the intimacy goes. So for the people that you share it with, they'll know when your transfer is, they'll know how many weeks you are. And there's not much that me and my husband got to keep to ourselves. So when I started writing about the journey, I did it retrospectively. I waited to have Sebastian first. And Sebastian, by the way, is from my second cycle. I waited to have Sebastian first. And then I spoke to a really talented journalist who told a story about, IVF, going through IVF and infertility as a Black woman. And the responses, you would know this from obviously what you get from what you're doing with WW, but the responses that I got, I had people in my DMs the next day saying, thank you so much for telling your story. I can't tell you how relieved I am for seeing a face that looks like me. I feel less alone. And that really, really propelled me into the space of thinking, you know what, this isn't about me. If I'm going to get more DMs like this, that's where my heart is. And I remember I said something, Kellee. I said to God, when I got to my desperate point, and this was, I think, after the first cycle. So when I was moving on to my second cycle, which was a transfer, I remember saying to God, if you bless me with a child, if you bless my womb, I will never stop talking about you. So I will always make sure that you get the glory in this situation. And from that article that came out and the responses that came through, that's when I said, it's time to tell that story. Because something that Regina says is infertility is bigger than babies. It's so much more. And for me, it was like, I've got the baby now, and I don't want to be don't get me wrong, everybody's different, but I don't want to be sorry, I think it paused because my battery. I don't want to be one of them women that have the baby and then kind of move on and get on my life. Like I've got work to do.
Right. We've got work to do. And that is why we are here today. And that is why we are gathering, because we are stronger together. I don't have a baby, y'all. I got frozen things in the freezer. I don't even have no sperm for those frozen things. But I am here because I have work to do. And I thank you so much, especially for staying up late there in the UK to come by.
For me, I've got a couple of hours left, man.
Okay, got you. Well, thank you so much. This is Vanessa Hay, you guys. Tell them where they can follow you and where they can see the work that you do.
So you can follow me on Vanessa Hay on Instagram, and actually I've got a website as well where I blog, and that's vanessahay.com. So yeah, I'm looking forward to speaking to you guys. Send me a DM. I'm happy to pray for you. That's what God's work is about. So please send me a DM if you want.
Amen. All right, darling. Thank you so much.
Okay. How do I get rid of myself? Do I just press the cross?
I think you press the X. I don't know if everybody has updated their
Let me just put my glasses on 1 second.
Right. We gotta. This is how we do it at Warriors.
Okay. I think I'm about to do it. Okay. So see you later. Everyone.
I love you, girl. Mwah.
Love
Bye,
you
Vanessa.
too. Love you too.
Love you, baby. Y'all got to know Vanessa is the type of person that will send me a DM of a prayer service going on, and she will be like, girl, let's pray together. Coach Jesse, I tried to get you. Let's see here if I have Cherished Life Wellness in the building. I believe this is Vanya. Hi. How are you? Welcome to Warrior Wednesdays. How are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you. Excited to be here.
So glad that you are here. Let everybody know who you are, what you do. Welcome to National Infertility Awareness Week, Warrior Wednesdays. You should know.
Thank you. So, hi, everybody. My name is Vanya Francis. I'm founder of Cherished Life, which is a company that really offers compassionate care and holistic wellness for all phases of the reproductive cycle. So by trade, I'm a yoga instructor. I've been teaching yoga for 12 years, and my specialty is prenatal yoga, but that has taken me so many places. So from that, I became a holistic health coach, and now I'm a holistic birth doula. And I also make wellness products. I have an herbal organic tea for periods, pregnancy, postpartum, and beyond. So I'm like all the way in, and so honored and humbled to be here today with all of these amazing women.
I mean, listen, first of all, I need some of that tea, child, because
Yes.
I called Mama Sue today and I said, girl, now y'all, yes, I'm in my 40s, but my mother still tracks my period for me. Remember how I always tell you on Warrior Wednesdays, get a diary and get a friend. My friend is
Yes.
my mama. And she's like, girl, I don't think you're hormonal yet. And I said, okay, you right. But I need some of that tea though, because I need it, because when I am hormonal, I am. But so what does that tea actually do? Can you let me know?
Yeah, so originally it was designed to support a healthy pregnancy. And then as I started drinking it myself and actually giving it to my children, we learned, and my mother, who is 70 and has a host of
God
health
bless.
issues, we've discovered that it really has a host of benefits for everybody. But the primary herbs in it are designed to support healthy reproduction and a healthy uterus. So the main ingredient is red raspberry leaf, but it's got nettles and oat straw and alfalfa and a bunch of other really great herbs that are really designed to tone the uterus and prepare it for life.
Well, I love what you do. I love the holistic approach. I
Yes.
think we all have different things that make us feel comfortable in this world of healthcare. And so you guys tell everybody where they can find you. I looked at your website and I think it's
Yes.
absolutely beautiful. And
Thank
tell
you.
everybody about the website and what it offers.
Yeah, so the website is mycherishedlife.com. And in that space, particularly as we're speaking to everybody who's here today, is the holistic health coaching piece and also the yoga piece. So we know that, our well-being as women really is holistic, right? So we tend to hyper focus sometimes on the physical aspects, what we're eating, whether we're exercising, but also there's an energetic piece to even fertility and conception. And so I like to work with women around that and really examining the lifestyle factors that can contribute to and support your journey and your process.
I love it. And support your journey and your process. I love it. Well, let me see, Vanya, if I can get somebody with you if they've updated. I don't know.
I know.
But
it was
listen,
tricky. It was tricky for me getting on today too.
But we out here and we're doing the work, and that's what
Yes.
matters. So I don't know if you know what, Vanya, I don't
Yes.
think that works. Hold on.
Okay, so I can step out, and yes, somebody asked about shipping. Yes, teas will be shipping as of May 1st. So please stay connected with me, and my IG is Cherish Life Wellness. But
Teas will be shipped as of May 1st. So cherishedlifewellness.com. That's where everybody can find you, right?
So mycherishedlife.com
mycherishedlife.com is
and I'll drop it
the
in
website.
the chat.
Drop it in the chat and stay with us, and maybe we can find a way to get everybody a party going again. We'll see.
Absolutely.
But
okay,
thank you so much, My Cherished Life. You guys follow her. Look at everything. She's beautiful. She's wonderful. Thank you for being part of this.
Thank you for having me.
I so appreciate it. We in the building. All right, I'm going to try. Let's see what we got going on here. I've been trying to get you. I've been trying. Okay. This young lady, Coach Jessie, who is a nutritionist and an author, there she is. And honey, she is a diva, honey. With this eyeshadow, baby. I love it.
Are you kidding me? I had to come correct for Kellee. Are you kidding me?
Welcome to Warrior Wednesdays. Coach Jessie Thompson is also in Eggs Over Easy, filmed by Shaquita Lockley, who you guys met first. Isn't she amazing? Tell us about you, who you are. Let the people know what's up.
Well, first of all, I've just been receiving such ministry listening to all this. And I just want to pause and say, number one, honor you, Kellee, because there's something about how we become very fragmented in this work and very segmented in whatever we're doing, right? That's just like the enemies. The white man's goal is to separate and really just just scatter us. Yeah. But really, what I like to say is it takes all of us. it takes a village. It takes all of us. And, you know, if you're listening, number one, I'm honored to be a part of the community that you've assembled. And I know there are some that are not even here. But, you know, first of all, so thank you for speaking my name and allowing me to be a part of this. As you know, what Regina spoke to earlier is so critical because, you know, one of the things that I had a journey of, I have my own fertility journey, and it started off with finding out, you know, when I was married and ready to have kids, after about 4 years in, ready to, you know, expand. I did all the things. I'm a planner, like, okay, you know, we enjoyed
laid it all out.
Exactly. And then now it was time. And, you know, 6 months in, we're not conceiving. And really, we started to, I went to the GYN and found out it was fibroids. So the fibroids, my symptom, you know, and Tanika said it really well. It's all about location and about size, right? Location, location, location. Well, mines were in a place where they were causing infertility. And that was my one symptom. I actually then what precipitated was what I call my $1 million plus journey, which included, you know, altogether now it's been 15 surgeries, but 5 of them were for fibroids, 3 were myomectomies, 1 was a UFE, and another was a partial hysterectomy. And I also had complications from the fibroid surgeries that caused more, you know, scarring and infertility issues that required 5 IVF cycles. I experienced a devastating miscarriage, which I know so many of you who have been trying to conceive, nobody understands. It's very hard to communicate what that feels like when you literally feel like you've been shattered into pieces with the loss of a baby. And yet and still pursuing that dream, pursuing that hope.
I'm going to pause you for a quick second because this is what we do here. I need rainbows and prayer hands in the comment section. I have seen interviews with you before, Jesse, even though we've never met in person.
But we've been connected.
But I don't know if it landed on me that there was 15 surgical procedures that you encountered in this life.
Mm-hmm.
I want to lift you up.
Thank you.
I want you to know, because y'all, this is where I go, but hope is really hard. Hope is a hard thing.
Girl.
And when you want your family so badly that you continue to take steps, surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery, to heal your body and prepare your body to bring life into this world. I got to give it to women in general, but I got to give it to you as a Black woman today to say, I lift you up. I lift the babies that are the souls that are watching over you up, and just wow, because to have gone through all of that and be able to talk about it later, you know, is to know that your testimony is going to heal people that are listening here and that read your books and that see the thing is that's a lot. And I lift you up and I thank you for that. I thank you for going through it.
And what you just said, thank you, Kellee. And, you know, the truth is that after the surgeries that yielded, you know, finally, you know, my everything, and I have a miracle baby who's 9 years old.
Amen.
She's 9 years old. She's amazing. Catch her in Godfather of Harlem on Sunday.
Okay.
I haven't published that, but anyway. But after that, and this is what really spawned the work. So it's really pivotal that you actually interrupted me there, because, you know, Essence published a profile of my story that went viral because, like Miss Hay was saying, it was like once my story was shared, it gave people permission to say, wait a minute, I'm not alone. Oh my God, it went viral because all these women were saying, my story, oh my God, your story gave me hope. Your story gave me permission to share. But it wasn't until then, Kellee, that I realized I was in a whole epidemic. Like I was experiencing a whole pandemic, and I thought I was all alone. And that spawned me into this work. I always like to say my baby when I birthed her, she birthed me into this work as now a holistic health coach, fibroids fertility coach, a nutritionist, founder of what we call an integrative wellness platform that helps women to have their miracle babies, to eliminate fibroids naturally. And I say this because guess what? The other surgeries I had were because of complications from the fibroid surgeries.
Wow.
I just aneurysm in August of this past August in the 2020. I had an aneurysm that came, a brain aneurysm that came from complications, a long-term condition I have now because of all of the fibroids surgeries that cause small intestine issues. That's a long-term health issue. So now I get to work with women to help intervene and say, you know what, not you, not you, not you, not you. You know, we've had women who she couldn't conceive for 12 years. You know, this is such sacred work, Kellee. She couldn't conceive for 12 years and has her miracle baby, 2 babies, you know, a woman who eliminated 50 plus fibroids, 50 fibroids with no surgery. And I say, you know, this is the key thing I want to say, you know, is that whatever you are on your journey, I want you to know that your healing is the number one most important thing. You're healing your womb, because that cycle that you talked about, that was crazy. That's an indicator that your hormone, your balance, your hormones are imbalanced, and estrogen dominance is present, and that can lead to fibroids, endometriosis, or other things that can cause infertility. So let's listen to our bodies, right?
Y'all are getting an education. I hope you are listening to Coach Jessie. Yes.
And then the other thing is, make sure you assemble yourself with the tribe. These women are dedicated to doing what it is, because your tribe is here to support you, to give you information you don't know, options you don't know, support you don't know. And the other thing is, every voice is not the voice that's going to be for you. But when you hear somebody, you're like, oh, that's my sister, that's the one for you, right?
Well, wait, let me tell you something, because my sister Niecy Nash always says this. Find somebody that speaks into your listening. And I say this on Warrior Wednesdays, even when it comes to your physician, when it comes to your specialist, when it comes to your partner, when it comes to your tribe, your friend, they got to speak into your listening. Regina Townsend always says when she's working with doctors, she's assembling her team. And if they don't say the things to her that match what God said, that's not a team member. You know what I mean? Speaking into your listening, like Vanessa did. She listened to God and she said, I insist that you give me a blood test, because her number one team member, her number one tribe was the Lord on her side. And so I think that that's so, everything that you're saying is amazing. And listen, let me tell you something. God gives the biggest battles to his strongest warriors. And you know, I've said this to Nichelle Sublette. I'm going to bring her on in a minute. That you know, I'm honored to know y'all. I've never been pregnant. I've never had a fibroid. When I'm in this community and I'm speaking these talks, I always feel what happens to you happens to me. What happens to any woman happens to me. There is no separation. And if we don't have these conversations, then we don't let the women behind us know, like, hey, there's something you should know about. There's something that you should pay attention to.
That's it.
And the strength that it takes to go through things like that and have a testimony and be able to share it this way is just, it's just so beautiful. I become moved every single time I hear a testimony such as yourself, and I'm just so grateful that you're doing that. You took your journey and you're putting it in the work, and that you're giving back. It's just, listen. That's why today is happening, because it's National Infertility Awareness Week, as we all know. But there are so many of us out here that are doing the work and offering the lessons of our journey to the community at large. I thank you and I honor you for that, sis. I honor you for that. I really do.
And the other thing I want women to know that Regina spoke to that is so critical is that, yes, Black women are disproportionately affected by, Black people are disproportionately affected by any inflammatory condition if you go through the research, right? There's a reason that, yes, when you look at why we're disproportionately affected, and this is what really, you know, for me, this is my heart, is helping women to understand that the stressors that we deal from the trauma of racism, like what Regina was speaking earlier, it literally stress, the cortisol, the chemical reaction that happens when we become stressed. And that could be just a lot of too much activity, or really, really, really busy, no breathing room, or it can be traumatic things. What happens in that chemical reaction is it causes an inflammatory response, and it makes us, it increases, it takes whatever stimulus you have going on in your life, and it multiplies its impact, Kellee. It multiplies it, right? So think about, like, when I had fibroids in 2014, everything else was the same. So we know that these imbalances are triggered by diet, stress, diet, and chemical pollutants like hair relaxers. Xenoestrogens are found in things like the plastics that are in the bottles, to the relaxers, to hair products and beauty products. Very important that we read these products and the chemicals that are in them. All right, but let's go back to the stress piece. If we don't take care of ourselves, what we're not realizing is that the stressors, when I had the fibroids in 2014, they tripled in size. They didn't incrementally grow, Kellee. They multiplied. Why? Because the stress, which is an upregulator of the stimulus, which means it multiplies its impact.
Right.
It turns around, it completely, it transformed what was, it could have been the same diet. You and I are fine. But in this year, you want to know why your fibroids are growing crazy, why you're having all these issues, whether it's reproductive, the trauma of what did we go through yesterday?
Right. Yes.
One day.
Yes.
Happening every day.
Every day. Every day.
So we have to take time. You know what? Sometimes we just have to disconnect. Like, I couldn't let myself look at that video from Makia, right? Bryant. Why?
Yes, I couldn't.
I knew where I knew where my cortisol levels were.
Yes.
But Jesse, you know what? Right now, you cannot handle that, right? And we have to surround ourselves with people that are going to help us focus on healing and caring for ourselves, right?
Amen.
Developing stillness practices. Like you said, if you don't hear the doorbell, it's not ringing for you, baby girl, because God knows how to get your attention. All right?
Amen.
So I know there are a lot of other women that you need to bring on, but I'm honored to be a part of this entire community. And I want us to understand, this is not, you have to choose one or the other. Take it all and get what you need from each person.
From each person. Exactly.
Okay?
As Mama Stu would say, Coach Jesse, eat the meat and throw out the bones. So take what you need from each person. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to try to bring some people back in. Absolutely. And thank you, Coach Jesse. Tell them where they can follow you really quickly and where in the website.
Okay, Coach Gessie. If you hit the down arrow at the top, you can follow right away. The website is thedetoxnow.com. We actually have a free detox for y'all to just help to care for yourself, detox your thinking and your eating with 3 simple steps. And it's right on the website at thedetoxnow.com. Love you.
Love you.
Goodbye.
Bye, love. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Yes! We got more. All right, I'm trying to get people in before they have to go to work if they put themselves on here. Let me see. I have a young, beautiful woman who is an author. Hi, how are you?
How are you? Good.
Tell everybody who you are.
Hi, everybody. My name is TJ Payton, and I am so thrilled to be here. I am an infertility advocate, but I advocate for male factor infertility. My infertility stems from my husband. My story goes, I also have fibroids, and my husband and I had been together for quite a while. And we decided after we got married young. After 5 years, we wanted to have kids. And we went to the doctor, and I thought it was going to be me. My doctor said, hey, maybe, your husband should get checked. And I was like, why? And my husband was like, why? Definitely as a Black man, there's nothing wrong with me. We can have a bunch of kids.
Right.
And so we went, and I never forget the day I got the phone call from the nurse, and she said, we didn't find anything. And I said, I knew there wasn't a problem. And she said, no, we didn't find any sperm. And at that moment, my whole world kind of fell apart. because we had never heard of male factor infertility. It's not something that was talked about in our community amongst our friends. When we looked for resources, there were not a lot for men, not a lot for women to tell women how to deal with a man that's dealing with male infertility. And then on top of that, the things that they did have, no one looked like us. And so that was in 2013. And we went through ebbs and flows, stages of grief, mental breakdowns. We did surgeries. My husband had a surgery in order to try to find sperm. They didn't find anything. We explored donor sperm, surrogacy. We actually tried to adopt with the state, and that turned out to be a conundrum. And so in 2017, at the end of 2017, I made a declaration that I was not going to let infertility take over our life. And that if God was going to give me a child, it was going to be effortless, because I felt like I had done everything in my power. So he was going to have to do it.
Come on,
And
TJ.
if he didn't do it, it wouldn't be done. And so we decided we were going to give it one last go and do a home study just to see, in 2018. So we did a home study. And I never forget, we were sitting down and I had a friend who adopted, and she called me and she said, I found us a baby. And I thought she was, fine. I was like, oh, you guys are adopting another one. She was like, no, I found you a baby. She was like, I told them you would take it, but I just need to ask you if you would take it first. And long story short, within the next 6 months, my daughter was born. And I think the struggle taught me, what it taught me the most is that God does not waste my tears. And every time I cried and my tears were there, I thought they were wasted. But had my daughter come earlier, I would not have been ready, my husband and I. And had she come later, I don't know if I really would have received the gift in my mind that the miracle happened for me. And I think the main question that a friend of mine asked, she said, do you want to be pregnant or do you want to be a mom? Because those are two different things.
TJ,
And
don't make me throw this phone. Don't make me throw this phone.
So then in that respect, I pray to God that, here I'm thinking pregnancy, but, even Jesus came from a mother who was never really impregnated. That was a miracle in itself. So do you have to be pregnant in order to be a mother? No, you don't. And so my daughter is my impossible possible. The thing that everybody told me was impossible, she is a possibility. And she's here. And she's my faith walking every day. And so I wrote in my journal. My journal was how I got my feelings out. And so I turned my journal into a book about my journey through male factor infertility, in hopes that I could reach other women who are dealing with male infertility. And, they may not want to talk about it because it's not something we talk about. And a lot of men also may not want to talk about because it's a thing about a man that doesn't want to say that he can't have a child. Mm-hmm. And so I've reached out to a lot of women, and a lot of women have reached out to me to say, hey, it was my husband, it wasn't me. And a lot of them feel frustrated because every time it's about infertility, it's like, well, it's you, the woman. And, she has to cry in a corner and be like, well, no, it's not me.
Yep.
And another thing I want to say, I talk about in my book too, is we are burning ourselves up to fulfill the emotions of others. So I was pushing myself to go to this baby shower and pushing myself to say I was happy, and also pushing myself to not admit that I wasn't angry at God. Oh. And one day I just screamed out and I was like, God, I am angry. Why did you do this to me?
TJ.
And it was that feeling that I had to confront. And then I had to confront the term never, that if God never gave me the baby, would I be okay? Because he's given me so many other things. And I told God, well, if it's not a baby, then you have to give me a greater purpose. And what is that purpose? To fill this void. So me and God had a whole conversation, a whole wrestle back and forth about, you better do this thing because I'm mad. So it came with a lot. And I appreciate so many women talking about their faith journey. And I think it was hard as women. We carry so many emotions, but to have to carry that from my husband as well was a lot. And so I always encourage women that you have to be honest with yourself and your feelings and your emotions, and let yourself feel and realize that you can't pour from an empty cup. And definitely in this infertility journey, sometimes it's very empty and very lonely, and you are pouring yourself out nothing. And so I had to learn grief and mourning, letting my husband do that. And then I poured it back out into my book. So there you have it,
Girl,
my story.
first of all, you came in here like a Thundercat, okay? And you let us have it. I don't have a question to ask. I almost picked up my phone and threw it across the room. You said I had to confront the word never. I had to yell at God. If God don't do it, you got your daughter. TJ, let me tell you something. Tell them the name of the book and where they can follow you, because y'all, just if y'all can go to the emoji of the microphone, find the microphone, y'all can just scroll and find the microphone, put a bunch of microphones in the chat, because y'all know TJ came on here and dropped it. You know, she in the car, she came in here and was like, I'm gonna tell you all the things. Where can they find your book?
So you can find my book on Amazon. It's called Semen Secrets, Confessions of a Wife Going Through Male Infertility. You can also follow me on Instagram at TJ Payton. And I also have a website, semensecrets.com. So you can also follow me there. And please get the book. Get it for someone you may know. It's not just for people dealing with male infertility. It's also people dealing with the marriage. Because I've talked to a lot of women who feel like divorcing. And so it also talks about how we overcame that piece of our marriage as well. And please support your men, because even though you're going through IVF, your husband is also going through it as well.
Amen.
And sometimes they are forgotten, especially when it is deemed that there's an issue with the woman and they're broken too, and they may not express it. Definitely if they're trying to be the pillar of strength that they're supposed to be. So please check on your men. Definitely with everything that's going on in this society, it's another thing to have to watch your wife suffer through infertility and not be able to speak on it, and then also have to deal with everything else. So just cling to our men, cling to our husbands, cling to the men that are creating the future, because so often they're forgotten in this entire process. So that's another thing I would love to just advocate. And DM me if you have any questions about male infertility that I can help with. I'm happy to speak and talk to you. So thank you for having me.
I thank you for your work. Oh no, girl, you're gonna be back, TJ. Stop playing. You're gonna be absolutely back. I hope that you saw all the microphones. We want you to kiss your whole family. We want you to stay safe. We want you to keep advocating, keep writing.
Thank you.
You have a purpose. You have a call on your life. I thank you for being here, for dropping the mic. I know you have things to do. Got to go back to work. TJ Payton, y'all better follow her and get that book, y'all. All right, girl. I will talk to you later. Thank you. Mwah. Love to you, sis. All right, I'm going to try to bring on some more people when TJ X's out and see if people updated their phone. Let's see what I got here. Did y'all update? Let me see. Here we go. Let me see. Nichelle Sublet, I tried to get you, girl, but I don't know if you. Hey, Selena! Nichelle Sublet and Ebony Ford. Wait, this just got so cool because
we got
now
four
we
people.
finally have four in the. We have four, you guys. I want you to meet Selena Yang. I want you to meet Nichelle Sublet, who has been on Warrior Wednesdays before, and Start Asking campaign, and Ebony Ford. You can follow her at And She Shall Reign, who has also been on Warrior Wednesdays to talk about preemies and everything that she does with March of Dimes. You guys, these are women you should know. Selena, I'm going to start with you. Tell us who you are, and happy National Infertility Awareness Week, girl.
Happy National Infertility Awareness Week. I am Selena. I am from Progeny, and so I'm going to talk about something a little bit different than I think the rest of the ladies got to talk about, and which, by the way, I am so honored to be with this group of ladies. I was like messaging my girlfriend. I was like, I feel a little out of place. Like, I feel like all these women have amazing stories to share, but I want to talk about employer-sponsored.
You belong.
Thank you. I want to talk about employer-sponsored coverage because what Progeny does is we are the company that works with other companies to provide access to the care and the coverage that you deserve to build your family. We believe that anyone should have a child when they want to, that it shouldn't be up to an insurance company whether or not you get to fulfill that dream of family. And we all know that infertility is really stressful. The patient shouldn't have to go into that doctor's office thinking about the logistics, being an accountant. They should just be a patient. Like, infertility is a disease. That's the reality of it. If you blow out your knee for, playing soccer or playing basketball, it's covered by insurance. So please tell me as to why infertility is treated so differently. And that's why we at Progeny are trying to make sure that people know that there is a benefit out there. There is something out there that will take care of you, not only emotionally, but will be there so that at the end of the day, it should be about you, if you have a partner, with your partner and your clinical care team making those decisions. There should not be a third party person trying to dip their hands in being like, hey, this is what you can and cannot do. And I think my big PSA is we've all heard today, and I think we hear from amazing voices every day about women who have spoken out and women who've taken charge and said, this is what's important to me. I want to remind everyone who is joining us today and joining us later that you can be that person. You as an individual can make noise, whether it's asking your HR department for a benefit or maybe asking, a colleague, like, can you help me with this? That you have the power to advocate for yourself and that you deserve it. You deserve to have that family. You deserve a painless experience, taking out that financial barrier. Like, you deserve that. And I don't think anyone should tell you differently. Yeah, that's my PSA.
Selena, I thank you. You are just so amazing. I'm so glad to have you as part of the crew, and you like homegirl for life. But I love what you said about giving us permission to use our voice to advocate for ourselves and for others, and that if we're not making the noise, then change is not going to happen in all facets of where we see that life is unfair, and the way that we are treated, the health disparities, the disparity of going outside and getting killed by police. We have to use our voice and say those things. So thank you for saying that. Thank you for all the work that you do, for giving people a place to go, because the reality is the resources are there. And the reason that you guys are here today is I want everybody to know who to talk to and where to go.
Absolutely.
For those specific things.
So go ahead. It's Progeny, PROGYNY. It kind of rhymes with prodigy. Go to progeny.com/talk-to-HR. We can help you get started. If you maybe feel a little uncomfortable and you want to remain anonymous, we can help you on your behalf. We have teams of experts who are constantly knocking on the door of HR execs being like, hey, this is important. And let me tell you, there's a study out there that says 65%, that to me is a big number, of employers added a benefit because an employee asked for it. So don't think that your voice can't make a difference. It is possible. And I am here to give you that confidence and to empower you to make that step. It doesn't have to happen today. It doesn't happen tomorrow, but just remember that you have the ability to do it. So yeah,
your voice matters and it makes a difference. You just have to make it heard. It matters and it makes a difference. That's Selena Yang, everybody. Thank you so much. Tell them one more time where they can follow you and find the website.
Absolutely. It's progeny.com/talk-to-HR. And I'm joining right now through our podcast's Instagram, which is This is Infertility Podcast, which, by the way, for all the women that have joined us today, I would all love to have you on our podcast. And the point of the podcast is to be free and open, to share stories and to let other people know that they're not alone, that we're all here for each other. So I have to put in the podcast.
I love it. Y'all, This is Infertility Podcast. Y'all just got booked. Everybody on here just got booked. So we're all part of a chat. So go ahead and DM them and book them. And I'll take a little bit of commission, Selena. Just,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, finder's fee. I understand. I understand how it works. Your check is in the mail.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here, darling. I really, really appreciate it. Miss Selena Yang. Absolutely. Thank you, girl. All right, I'm going to go on to Miss Nichelle Sublette. Nichelle, who has been on Warrior Wednesdays. Hi, beauty. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. It's great to see you again, Kellee. Thanks for having me.
You too. You too. Let everybody know. Well, first of all, you are a former Mrs. North Carolina, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Mrs. North Carolina 2018.
2018. And I got familiar with Miss Nichelle Sublette because I saw a TED Talk that you did, and you also have a campaign, Start Asking. But can you tell the community a little bit about your story and how you became an advocate and all the amazing work that you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Nichelle, and I had a very difficult journey to motherhood. It was definitely the hardest thing I've ever been through. I got started, well, the whole thing started in 2013 when my husband and I got married. We started the trying, not trying thing. So not really like tracking cycles or anything, but just seeing what happened. And after about 6 months, we realized we still weren't pregnant. So I went into my OBGYN and got diagnosed with PCOS. And that started a 6-year journey from that point on. We tried Clomid, IUIs, 2 egg retrievals. We ended up doing 2 IVF embryo transfers, and also like all the gluten-free, dairy-free, prayer, meditation, everything. I mean, we were doing everything under the sun, and still ended up having 5 miscarriages throughout that period of time.
Oh, rainbows, y'all. Y'all know what to do. I'm so sorry. I know, girl.
Yeah. So definitely very, very difficult on everything, mentally, emotionally, the marriage, just all of it. So that was when I competed in Mrs. North Carolina. So after that last miscarriage, that was at the end of 2017, and I had not done a pageant before, but I ended up winning. And I knew in the moment that I was crowned that I had to tell my story. I always knew I would tell it, but I thought I was going to wait until after everything worked out and we had kids.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I knew, nope, this is going to be my platform, Infertility Awareness. That's when I started the hashtag Start Asking movement, basically encouraging women to start asking their doctors early for fertility assessment. So long before you actually want to have children, at least get a baseline check. I want it to be as normal as getting your blood pressure checked. This should be part of a well woman's visit when you go see your OB.
This is very, very important. I'm just going to pause you for a quick second. Number one, we have a bunch of rainbows. So thank you, team, and thank you, Warrior community, for that. And also the fertility assessment, because we talked about this. Nichelle has also been on Warrior Wednesdays. You guys can see her episode on warrior-wednesdays.com as well. And the fertility assessment, it's so super important. When I froze my eggs, I did not know that there were AMH tests, FSH tests, your anti-Müllerian hormone, your follicle stimulating hormone, or even getting an ultrasound that could give doctors a little bit of information about your ovarian reserve, not the quality of the eggs, but a little bit about the quantity. And I did not know that when I was a 37-year-old woman. And what that says is, no, I'm not stupid. No, I wasn't ignorant. We are not being told those things. So when here in the U.S., I know Vanessa Hay is still here, but here in the U.S., when we get a yearly pap smear, we are not asked would you like a fertility evaluation? And
No.
this is something that we need to change. And since we, look, Selena just flipped her hair like, yeah, girl. And since we are all here in this community, this is something that we need to know, because women can be planning ahead so much sooner by understanding what their ovarian reserve is. And that is why you started #start asking. Correct?
Yes. Yes, because like you said, when we have the knowledge, we can make choices. If we want to freeze our eggs, if we want to start trying, I mean, you have the knowledge. So I think that's really important. And like you said, I would love to see it become more like physician driven, as opposed to us having to know to ask. Because sometimes people don't know what to ask and what not to ask. I mean, we just assume that, oh, okay, I'll stop taking the pill, or I'll start trying, and, you know, within 3 to 6 months, I'll get pregnant. You know, that's just kind of the assumption. So,
yeah, we don't cross that fertility bridge until we have to. And what we need to do is we need to see that ahead of us in life. You know, doing Warrior Wednesdays, my brother called me one day and he said, you know what? I put away college money for Kira and Matthew. I'm going to put away egg freezing money for her in case this is something that she wants to do. Hey, listen.
That is amazing.
If he's going to be Warrior Wednesday's host, brother, he better get on board. Okay. So he had, but this is something that I really appreciate that you've done, Nichelle, and that you've created this platform. You guys really need to just even Google Nichelle Sublette and her TED Talk. It was absolutely amazing, and it's just beautiful. And the Start Asking campaign, and what I love about the work that you do is having gone through the things that you've gone through, having survived the loss. And this is what I really want to drive home with everybody in the audience today, is that these women that are joining me today, that I'm so humbled by, they are continuing their advocacy, even on the other side of that bridge, or having faced that bridge, or during the bridge. Like Regina Townsend started the Broken Brown Egg while she was going through it. But I want people to know that just because a baby may come or not come, or what, you know, our voices, we understand that we need to speak out so that women and men know that they are not alone. So I'm so grateful for all the work that you do. And where can everybody find you, Nichelle?
Oh, Instagram at Nichelle W. Sublette. I need to update my website, but I have one. It's NichelleSublette.com. You can find me there. And yeah, you can always DM me, reach out. And I didn't say, at the end of the whole pageant, I ended up crowning the next winner. We went in to do a third IVF transfer and got my son, who's now
He's now 19 months?
19 months, yeah.
19. Tell us your son's name.
Hudson.
You guys put some spirit hands up for Hudson, because he is here and he is 19 months, a young king. And we just want to like send him a bunch of love, you and your husband, all the advocacy that you guys do. I thank you. I adore you. You guys should really, really get to know Nichelle Sublette. You are amazing. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much. Of course. Listen, I don't do it without y'all. That's why we a tribe. Ebony Ford. Hi, ma'am. Tell them why they should know you.
Hi, guys. So my name is Ebony Ford. I am a micro preemie mom. I have a daughter who was born at just 26 weeks. She weighed 1 pound, 15 ounces, and she was our fifth. Much like Nichelle's story, we got married, and you get married, you think it's a fairy tale, everything's going to be great. And we had our first baby, ended at 32 weeks in a stillborn. Got pregnant again. Y'all. Yeah, got pregnant again immediately. And that pregnancy ended at 14 weeks. So we were like, you know what? Let's just take a break. Let's just live and let's enjoy our marriage. And this is all within like the first 14 months of marriage. So it was a really, really rocky start. And we just decided to love on one another and, travel and school. And about 2 years later, we got pregnant again with twin boys, and we were super excited. But that excitement was pretty dimmed pretty early on, I'll put it that way. We found out our boys had a genetic condition called twin-to-twin transfusion that was pretty severe and inoperable. So we lost our boys at 22 weeks. Ooh. And at that point, we were like, no, that's it. Mm-mm. No, we're good. We're done. And kept on living. We tried to heal. We tried to work through it. We tried to stay busy. We did whatever we could to stay together and to stay sane. And in 2017, that baby bug bit again, and I started looking into adoption. And long story short, before we could even take the first step, we found out we were pregnant. And I remember praying a prayer, Lord, please don't let me get pregnant if I'm not going to bring this baby home from labor and delivery.
Oof.
I can't leave labor and delivery without a baby again. I can't do it.
Hmm.
And then my daughter was born at 26 weeks. She was born due to me having severe preeclampsia, and then it developed into something called HELP syndrome. So I'm now an ambassador for March of Dimes. I'm a maternal health advocate, and I'm out here in these streets trying to keep my sisters from dying, letting them know how they can, be proactive and not reactive, and how we can just save lives. It's unfortunate. This last week, it's been an amazing 2 weeks, really. Last week was Black Maternal Health Week.
Yeah.
This week is National Infertility Week. And I've been on the run, but there's one constant. Now, Regina kind of kicked it off. I've been so grieved. Although celebrating in these 2 weeks, I've been grieved because doctors have now become to Black women what cops have become to Black men.
Ooh,
and I never
girl.
thought we'd be here. I just never thought we'd be here. So here we are, and I want to teach my sisters how to survive, how to advocate for themselves, how to bring in someone else to advocate for them in the event that they don't feel that they can, because their lives are worth living.
I'm going to take a breath, and I think everybody needs to take a breath and just allow that to land. That's a hard truth, but it's a fact. We can't ignore the fact that Black women die 3 times higher rate in childbirth and infant mortality as well, 3 times more. And y'all advocacy is so important. The history of even the father of gynecology, J. Marion Sims, doing experiments on enslaved African women without anesthesia. That and society calls him the father of gynecology, and that is what was done to enslaved African women, and that is the history of health but not care in the United States. Health but not care. And so our valid mistrust of the healthcare system it's real and very, very real, and we need to continue to do what we're doing today, which is getting together to say our stories out loud so that women, men all know what could happen, what does happen, and what we need to change. So I thank you for bringing that up, because as we celebrate coming together, there is a lightness and there is a heaviness as well, because we live in a certain type of reality. But without y'all's voices, Nichelle, Selena, Ebony, everybody that's been on and that's still coming on, without y'all's voices, we don't see the light. So thank you for being the light. Thank you for being the light. And as hard as this world is, we have to reclaim our joy. Like what Regina said, it's hard to advocate to bring life in this world when Black lives don't matter in this world. But at the end of the day, we know we matter. And we have to be the light that we seek. So thank you. Thank you, Ebony Ford. Where can everybody find you?
So you can follow me at And She Shall Reign. You can also follow me at andsheshallreign.com. If you go over to my bio, you'll find a link there that opens up a ton of links. You can find more about my story. You can donate to our March of Dimes campaign. And a fun fact, that miracle baby is now 3.
Yes, she is,
she starts
honey.
her first day of in-person schooling tomorrow. And as excited as we are, is as terrified as we are, but we're taking it in stride, and we're grateful for an amazing miracle, because they told us she might not see or walk or talk or doing any of the amazing things that she's doing right now. So
she passed every milestone. God has his hand on Rain's life, and I know Ryan Ryan is Ebony's husband, is going to be sitting outside the car the whole time that she's inside.
Oh, he's following the bus.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
please believe.
And
He's
I need text messages and updates when that baby is in school. Ryan, if you
Absolutely.
on here, you better text Auntie Kellee and let me know where my child is. Y'all tried it, but don't. Listen, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Selena Yang, Nichelle Sublette, Ebony Ford. Thank you guys for being a light, for being a melanated light in National Infertility Awareness Week. I love y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Love you. Absolutely. All right. Woo. All right. So we had that room. Now let's see. Isn't she beautiful? Look at that Nichelle Sublette. She's gorgeous. Honey, no wonder she won that crown, honey. No wonder it was just one pageant to the crown, honey. She didn't need practice. Okay. I love it.
I'll bring it next time.
Yes, please. Absolutely. All right, darling. I am going to see. Mwah. I'm going to see if I can get here. All right. Let's see. Let me get a couple more ladies in here. We are doing good. I need this one if she updated her phone. I also need. Oh, hey!
I'm over here struggling, Kellee.
Nichelle Sublette, Nichelle posted. That's two Nichelles in a row. Nichelle posted, board member at resolve.org, where I'm going to be hosting tomorrow night for United Resolve. And this is Nichelle Sublette. I call her my bridge, honey, because she's my bridge to every fertility blogger, advocate, doctor. She's all the things. Nichelle Polston is also the founder of Her Normal. Hi, friend.
Hi, friend. Listen, I was over here having the hardest time trying to get on. Like, just looking like one of those old ladies just getting, like, new, like, or just getting connected with technology. I'm like this. You just pushing and pushing. And I said, you know what? If Kellee requests me on, I'll jump on. But at this point, I'm just going to listen. I'm in the audience, okay?
You are not in the audience. I see our miracle child, Latoya Dawkins. I know you're coming up. And
Hey, Regina. Yes, Regina's sticking around, Maryland.
Yes,
Hello.
and we also have Sister Midwife is in the building. I'm coming to get you. Don't hang up. Nichelle Poston, tell everybody about yourself, why they should know you.
Okay, well, not that I'm any special. All of the ladies are wonderful. I really, really enjoyed listening to everyone.
And you are special too. You know, don't let me have to read you on live.
Oh, okay, please don't read me here, please.
Yes, don't start off with no negative about my friend, okay?
Okay, so I'll tell you this, like many of the ladies, my fertility journey led me to advocacy, right? And would I change it? Absolutely not, because it opened my eyes to so much. It humbled me. And you know what I'm going to say? It encouraged me to stop micromanaging God as well, because I was always like, when am I going to get this? I've been praying for it, and I already have my testimony ready, and I'm just waiting. But no, even today, 6 weeks out of my myomectomy, I remember last year sometime I said, hey, I'm going to be pregnant by February 2021. Next thing you know, I get the news that I have fibroids. And I remember saying to myself, this wasn't a part of my plan.
It was not a part of your plan. No.
Not at all. So why should a woman know? Because I would say, like many of us, our journeys led us to advocacy. And like someone said earlier, we're stronger in numbers. Did I imagine myself being a part of Resolve? No, I actually was Googling one day, looking for some sort of support, could not find anyone who looked like me. And this takes me, giving you guys a time frame, back in 2015. Back in 2015, I'm just looking for some sort of support. I couldn't find any, support where the women look like myself. I stumbled upon Resolve, and I said, let me find out a little more. I ended up becoming a support group leader, which is funny because I was looking for support, and here I'm trying to support.
Yeah, and God was like, go ahead and get in front of this thing.
Yeah, and so I became a support group leader. But this is a funny thing, and I want, just listen to this for the ladies who are still on, I think it was Senate Bill 139. It was a fertility bill in Delaware. I remember meeting a representative from Resolve, and I said, I'm going to go to her and ask why I don't see any of us. And she invited me to DC, and I met Rebecca. I love Rebecca. Love Betsy, love Barb, all of these women. And I go and I said, hey, I don't understand why you don't see any of us. And there's power in diversity. It's power when our stories, when we just elevate voices from all these different ethnic groups, right? And so they call me out. And here's why. I got a call. I think it was from Rebecca or Barb, and the question was, hey, we're doing a video and we want to know if you'll make yourself available. And I'm looking like, absolutely not. I don't want to talk. I don't want to share my story. But then I realized really quickly, if I don't, then who?
Who?
A lot of these organizations, they deal with who's in their circle, right? And so if I become a part of Resolve, then maybe I can include them into my circle where we'll see more brown faces, more Black and brown faces. And so they called me out. I said, let me do this. Let me stop hiding. Let me just come to the forefront and really start talking about it. And it's the best thing because I feel empowered today even more than I was in 2015.
You were built. Let me tell you something right now. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I mean to interrupt you. You were built for this job, girl. You were built for this job of being an advocate in this world, in this journey to motherhood, which I know will happen for you. Yeah, and just so you know, because we're going to keep it crystal clear and absolutely honest. When I froze my eggs, I was not trying to talk to y'all. I was not trying to have an audience of people. I was going to put them suckers in the freezer and go live my life and do my thing. I became a part of this community, like Nichelle just said, because our journey leads us to advocacy, right? So I became a part of this community after I had a freak out thinking that, that my eggs was going to expire, my frozen eggs, and the doctor telling me that a lot of women call here panicking. I wasn't cool with that. A lot of women call here panicking thing. So I started to speak out about it. But when Nichelle first called me, you guys, some of you might know I'm an actor, but I was teaching an acting class, and I happened to be teaching to Nichelle's brother. I didn't know Nichelle. And so he called Nichelle and said, you should reach out to her to talk on her normal and da-da-da-da-da. And so she did. And we clicked like that. Yeah. But tomorrow, I bring this up because Nichelle talked about Resolve calling her out and her finding that community and then becoming a board member. I did not know about Resolve until Miss Nichelle Polston, y'all. She's the reason. She's the bridge. And that's why I call her a bridge, is because she's like, you got to know this person. You got to know this person. You got to know this person. So when I say you are built for this job, I mean, on your journey to parenthood along the way, God was like, I got some people that I need you to bless. You are going to be a blessing. As you're looking for community, you're going to create community. And that's exactly what you have done, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. I can tell you the story behind her normal is not like the traditional story for the ladies who created their platforms to really outreach and empower others. I had a friend, or I still have this friend. I don't know why I keep saying I had, but I still have this friend. And she was looking for marriage, looking for Mr. Right. And I'm looking for this baby. And we just made a joke about our journeys to motherhood and journeys to just relationships. And I was married without the baby, or I'm married without the baby. She has children and doesn't have the ring. And so I said, I am so over baby shower invites, wedding invites. And so I said, let's start a website write a book called Give Me a Ring and a Baby. But then I realized if I keep focusing on a baby and being negative, because I was negative in the beginning, right? Negative thinking like, well, why I don't have this? And I even made myself and this is, being self-righteous is the worst thing. It feeds ego, right? So I'm thinking, why am I not a mother? I did this right. I did that right. This should be me. And I remember just saying, no, Nichelle, you need to sit. You need to be patient. You need to embrace your normal. Your normal isn't a permanent status. And so I created Her Normal to speak to pretty much a wide range of women, those looking for the ring, those for the baby, dating, those, just encouraging them to even take a look at their, or ask questions about their fertility health, even creating a lookbook on the website. But it covers a number of different things for women who are in the race against their biological clock to either get married or have children.
And I love what you just said about embracing our normal, because we often measure ourselves against somebody else, whether that's somebody we see on Instagram, whether that's a friend that's having a baby or that's getting married. No, your normal is your normal. Their normal is their normal. I don't want to trade places with anybody. As life has taught me, now I know that I'm built for this job of being Kellee Stewart. And so I thank you for Her Normal. Nichelle and I are going to be doing some fun little project. We've been trying to do it forever.
I know. Listen,
Her
we
Normal,
are just busy, but we'll get it.
We're gonna get it there. And Nichelle's husband, Khalil, was also on Warrior Wednesdays, the male edition, as well as Ebony Ford's husband Ryan. So I just want to thank you both for being a light in the community, for you both being a bridge in my life. And I mean, listen, Nichelle and I have never met in person. We just talk on the phone all the daggone time. But I mean, I feel like that's my friend, that's my sister from another. And I love you. And let me just say on live, I love you, friend. And I thank you. I thank you. Listen,
I love you too. You have been a blessing to me in so many ways, keeping me encouraged, because you did a live not long ago for your birthday. And the people just poured into you, as they should. But it was one thing that I had to say to myself. You started to cry a bit. And I said, we need to normalize checking up on our strong friends. So many of us label each other as, oh, she's strong, she doesn't need me to check into her. Because I was that strong friend that people thought, oh, Nichelle has it all together. I don't need to call her. I don't need to listen to her. And just seeing you shed that tear, a few tears that day, I said, this is not right. Do not put Kellee in the box that others have put you in. And so just seeing you, and I know that you're genuine. Just seeing you made me realize we all need to check up on each other. And I love each and every one of the women that, I've met through you, through Resolve, just through Her Normal. It's a woman, her name is Ola. She's from Nigeria, or I think she's from Nigeria, but she's over in Africa. And she says to me quite often, you are blessed. And just hearing it more and more, we need to speak words into existence. Yeah. And I am blessed, Kellee, because I have you. And I am blessed because I have you, and because we have all of the women that are here today. So yes. I love you, friend. I'm gonna call you after. You know how we do. Can I share the baby blanket? Yes. And then I'm going to bring on Infertility and Me podcast, our miracle child and sister midwife. Stay there because I'm coming. Okay. So for everyone, I didn't realize that I was still holding back. As much as I share with folks and tell them about my story, I was still holding back. And I had a baby shower to go to sometime last year. And my mother decided to go ahead. She's just Miss Shopaholic. She's retired. That's all she does now, shop. She bought a baby blanket. I looked at this baby blanket and I said, I'm going to keep this blanket because I like it. And I'm going to give it to my child. And I ended up buying another gift to give to my friend. But I kept this blanket in the closet because I didn't want anyone to know about this blanket. I just said, I'm going to look at it every day and just plant positive seeds and just think about this child that will come. And I shared it with Kellee, not thinking anything. And my husband watched the live.
Because why? Because I asked you about that blanket on live.
Yes, she did. And now he has the baby blanket.
But
So
what happened was Khalil did not know. Her husband didn't know she had this little cute little pink blanket in the closet.
No.
He didn't know that. So she had told it to me. I asked her about it on live. She was truthful and honest and said the story. And her husband's watching the live going, and so after the live was off, he said to her, can I have the blanket for a little bit? I didn't even know you had a baby blanket. Can I have it? And so later on, when I talked to both of you guys on the phone simultaneously, because we do that sometimes too, I be talking to the couple, and I said, without him knowing that you had it, because where one or more are gathered, so shall he be also.
Yes.
So the father of your child needed to touch and agree with you that baby, that future baby was coming. So as long as that blanket was kept away from its father, there was no touching and agreeing. So Warrior Wednesdays was a vessel. It ain't me. It ain't even you. Warrior, it's God saying, I need to let him know his baby's blanket is in his house. And that episode brought Khalil and Nichelle together to touch and agree on this blanket and this baby that they are going to cuddle in that blanket one day.
Yes, amen, amen. So if I have any last words, is for women on here, even men, to keep going. Each one teach one. Let's stay connected, because and I can't remember this meme, but we can light a candle and all stay lit. So let's continue to light each other up, okay? Because you don't lose nothing about your flame.
Nothing about your flame. I love that. Yes. And that's what today is. That's what today is that where there's room for everybody. There's room for everybody. Yeah. So thank you so much for being here, friend. I love you.
Love you
kiss
too.
Khalil for me and kiss that blanket for me, because that's going to be my future niece. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, girl. I love you. Mwah. All right. Infertility and me, our miracle child. Let me see. Sister Midwife, I'm hoping I can get you guys in at the same time, but I don't know. Let me see here. Let's see what happens. Ha! Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey.
I don't know where these filters come from. What is going on, Instagram? Let me take this thing off. There we go. I look like myself.
Guys, we have Sister Midwife and Infertility and Me podcast in the building. Hey, our miracle child coming. Hey, I need you to introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are and what you do.
You can go first, dear.
All right, I will. My name is Nicole. And first, I just need to say, I've been sitting here for this hour and a half. Like, this is like the dopest, bestest Instagram live experience ever. I feel so honored to be invited to share space with all of these dope. I mean, listen, this has been beautiful and just wonderful, and a blessing for me to be a part of. So thank you for having me and for doing this. And I know people are just being blessed left and right by all of the information that everybody's sharing. So my name is Nicole. I am the founder and CEO of Sister Midwife Productions. I like to say that birth is the revolution. And if we revolt, that is to rise up and shift this pregnancy, birth, and parenting, we could literally change the vibration of our communities. I mostly do birth justice advocacy work, right? So I meet the families on the other side of their fertility journey. And I said that, but then I thought before today, I was thinking yesterday, I said, but I really do have a long infertility story. I do have a 6-year-old daughter, but I have a long and winding experience of a decision to end a pregnancy when I was 21, followed by a 23-weeker that I was unable to bring home. I left her in the hospital, maybe 24 and a half weeks. She delivered And she didn't make it past 9 hours or so.
I'm so
Followed by,
sorry.
thank you.
Rainbows,
Followed by,
y'all. Rainbows, warriors. You know how we do in this world of Warrior Wednesdays. We honor our angel
yeah,
babies.
that was my Peanut. That's
Yes.
Peanut.
Oh,
And
I love
then
that.
followed by years of, like, I knew about freezing eggs because I was a labor and delivery nurse, and so I was in that industry, so I had heard of it, but I looked into that. That didn't feel like it was a good idea for me. I didn't have, it just was a lot. This was, of course, I mean, we're talking almost 20 years ago now, too, right? So it was a different time then. And I just was like, man, I really want to have a family, not just a baby. I wanted a family. And so I'm waiting for the black man, waiting for the black man, waiting for the black man. And it wasn't until I was 40 that I found someone, we fell in love, and we got together, got married, and I had a miscarriage before my daughter. And then after my daughter, I had like 3 miscarriages, and I wanted more. And he and I are no longer together, but when we were together, I was actively wanting more children. And I just had miscarriage, and it was a lot. But at any rate, I felt like I have a fertility journey too that I'm going to share in this moment. But at any rate, most of the work that I do is centered around birth justice and making sure that a lot of the conversation has talked about this already today, but making sure that we have better birth outcomes and our mamas and our babies are surviving, and not just surviving, but thriving and feeling whole after giving birth rather than feeling traumatized and broken.
Well, first and foremost, let me honor you in sharing your truth and your story. And I hope that you can see some of the rainbows that are there for you and yours, Mama, for you and yours.
Yes, thank you.
So I thank you, because every time we say our truth, we lighten our own load, and we also lighten the load of the sister to the left and the right of us, because they don't feel as alone in that. And so I'm so glad that you felt propelled to do so. And when you say you take care of women after birth, right?
Pregnancy and birth.
Pregnancy and birth. So can you just give us a little glimpse of what tools or how you do so?
So personally, I actually don't even take care of clients directly anymore. I train, right? Okay. So I train doulas, right? So I have a international at this point doula training organization, and I train doulas across the country. We just started a training this week, in fact. And really, for those who don't know, a doula is someone who is non-medical, but they are trained to support a family preconceptually, before they get pregnant, during pregnancy, during the birth, and in the postpartum period. Some doulas have a lot of experience and do a lot of support helping families with fertility who are experiencing infertility. But that's the primary role of a doula, to give informational, emotional, spiritual support. Someone said earlier, I think it was you mentioned how that's the history of the health system, not the health care system. Right. And I always say that doulas put the care back into prenatal care, because that's really what they're due to provide, that extra support foundation, that backbone to help the family know how to advocate for themselves, particularly at a hospital birth.
Okay, so first of all, y'all put some spirit hands up, because you said you are an international trainer, and I want to give it up to all the Black women out here that are on their grind, okay, and doing their business. But also, everything that you said is so important about doulas. For those that may not have seen, you can see it on the website on warrior-wednesdays.com. Danielle Brooks from Orange is the New Black, and from the Mahalia on Lifetime that was just out. Danielle was a guest on Warrior Wednesdays, who had a doula and was at the hospital and found out that she had to have an emergency C-section. She started singing some gospel, y'all, to get through the moment. But it was her doula, and she says it on the episode, that was able to explain to her certain things that she might experience, that was able to advocate for her to her doctors, that was able to keep her spirit as calm as could be. That was the person that she needed in that moment, because we never quite know until an emergency is going to happen. And so in this world where we know that Black women are dying 3 times more in birth and things like this, we have every right to be scared. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We have
for
every
sure.
right to be trepidatious. We have every right to look at somebody like they don't believe my pain. So having a doula, having somebody there with her was paramount in her being able to get through that procedure to bring her daughter into the world. So that is what you do at Sister Midwife, and I absolutely love that. And now I'm gonna quickly, I want you to tell everybody where they can follow you before we move to Miss Infertility and Me podcast. I want to be go ahead.
Yes, as Sister Midwife. I'm Sister Midwife on Instagram, Sister Midwife on Facebook, sistermidwife.com, and I also have a directory, sistermidwifedirectory.com. It's a directory of Black midwives and doulas. So if you are experiencing womb issues, if you are pregnant, if you're trying to get pregnant, if you're postpartum, if you need lactation support, go to our directory, sistermidwifedirectory.com. It's people nationwide. And so Shaquita Lockley, Eggs Over Easy, participated in our Birth Justice Film Festival we had last September for the Art of Birthing. And it was in that conversation that I realized I need to add a category on the directory just for fertility assistance. And I still haven't done it, but for people who are Black, whether they are Black physicians who are doing fertility work, or whether they are naturopathic people doing herbalistic, holistic fertility work. So it was through that conversation. We're a small grassroots organization, right? So I still haven't moved to do that addition, but this has re-inspired me to want to make sure I get that done.
I'm so glad. Yes, please. And listen, call on us. That is what this is about. If there's anything that we can do to support you, that I personally can do, or any of the ladies, I'm sure I can speak for them. This is what this community is about. And whatever you might need assistance with, we're here. We're here, sis. We are here, Sister Midwife. And I want everybody to follow Sister Midwife and look her up. And now Miss Infertility and Me podcast. I'm such a fan, by the way.
Girl, likewise.
I'm a whole fan. I'm a whole fan of her reels, on Instagram.
Your reels be everything.
They be
Thank y'all.
the whole truth. I need you guys to follow. Tell us about you, who you are, what you do.
I came into the Instagram world specifically for fertility and infertility and loss, 2019, late summer, early fall of 2019, in hopes of being a face and a voice for the silent sufferers of infertility and loss. And that was the foundation of starting the podcast. And what I talked about a lot in the very beginning when I started the platform is because I was that silent sufferer who went through 4 years of infertility before conceiving, and letting anyone else outside of my home and my mother, my father, know that I was suffering from infertility. And I have a sister. She's a little older than I am. She has 3 kids. I was there for all 3 of their births, even in the midst of infertility. And she didn't know. You know, so I was that silent sufferer. And you guys see me now, you're like, there's no way. But I was about that specifically.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why I started the podcast, to be a face and voice, and to give the microphone to someone else who looked like me or looked very similar to me, for my Latina sisters, Asian sisters, and such like that. Yeah.
First of all, I love that. I love what you said, to give the mic to somebody else. And again, what Michelle Polston said about our journeys lead us to advocacy, because what's so amazing about what you just said, and how talented you are, because let me tell you guys, she does these reels that are hilarious and just so out there. So for you to even say that you were suffering in silence, that you were keeping it to yourself unless those people lived within the 4 walls of your home, is really interesting to me. So what made you, what was the catalyst? What was the key in the ignition that said, it's time to speak up, and it's also time to get other people to speak with me? What was that key?
It was spiritual for me. I'm not a religious person, but I'm very spiritual. And I actually was once very religious. I used to be a minister about 12 years ago. And although I am not religious now and more focused on inner work and connecting with the creator in the universe and Mother Earth on a different type of playing field, I began to dream blue, see blue, and wear blue. And all I just heard in my head was, you cannot keep it to yourself. There's somebody that needs to be pushed to speak. And so and when I say I started seeing blue and feeling blue, and I found out that the throat chakra, which is here at the thyroid level, is blue. And it means speaking your truth. If anybody is into meditation and those spiritual practices, along with your prayer practices. And so that is why the brand colors are blue, because I feel it very deeply that if we focus here and if we pray here, we meditate here, that it will give us the strength and the power to be able to speak our truth, no matter who it offends, right? No matter who leaves us, and no matter who comes and goes. And so when I began to pray and meditate specifically here on finding that power in a different way that was unlike being a minister or being my regular opinionated self, I found this new freedom of authenticity that I thought that I already had as a Libra woman and being a woman of justice and fairness. But I found a new level of it, which lit a fire in me. And so that's why I say it was a very spiritual experience for me, creating the platform and hanging in there when it didn't seem like anybody was listening. You understand? So, yeah.
We're listening to you, Monique. We are listening to you, and it's a spiritual experience right now, because can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, there's a little bit of feedback. I don't know where it's coming from. There's feedback. I can
Either.
hear it. Yeah.
I think it just went away. But it's really amazing, because I was going to tell everybody to put blue hearts in the chat for what you just said, because Sister Midwife grabbed her throat before you actually said it here, knowing that chakra area. And I didn't need to say it, because I don't know if you can scroll down or up, but there are a bunch of blue hearts. So I want you to know how much that translates and how much that penetrates our hearts and our souls, to know that. And like I said, y'all, please follow both of these ladies. And for this is Fertility and Me podcast. Really, you do some fabulous comedy reels about infertility. And I just have to bring that up one more time, because when we can laugh about our pain, it doesn't have control over us. And pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. We are all going to have pain in this life. You cannot escape this life without constant cycles of different things that are going to bring pain to you. But suffering, it can be a choice sometimes to not find the purpose, in the pain and what you can do with it. And so when I see you do such light comic things with infertility, it is such a place for the rest of us going through something to laugh. So I just want to say thank you, because you give us permission to laugh at this. And so what made you do the comedy stuff?
So here we are. It's this time last year, and I'm 10 months, not 10 months, but 9 or 8 months into the podcast. And although it was getting good traction, I felt so drowned out by all the Caucasian sisters out there who advocate, you know what I'm saying? And you got people like Regina, who's been doing it, and veterans in the game for a long time. You got people like sisters-in-laws, Erica McAfee, been around for a long time, and Fertility for Color Girls with the Reverend, doing it for a long time. And why didn't I know about them 4 years ago before I gave birth? You understand? Why didn't I know about them in my search on Instagram? And they were here. That's the thing. They were here.
That's what you should know it's about. Exactly.
They were being drowned out by all of our Caucasian sisters and brothers advocating. And that's how I felt this time last year. I almost gave up on the platform and the Instagram pages. I'm like, is anybody freaking listening? You know what I mean? And I had so many diverse people on the podcast, LGBTQ plus IA, child free after infertility people, just so many people, so many brown people, so many Caucasian people, Asian women. I've had men on the show and stuff like that. And so I just felt drowned out. And I said, well, you know what? At the end of the day, I did not create it for me, for my own recognition. I created for others, to give others the power and get and help them find the voice in their pain. And so when I refocused my vision and what I could do next, for me, it was like, okay, what more can I do? Because I was full and my cup was full and I had a lot to give. And so what else can I freaking do? And so the very first reel that I did was like real silly. I was like dancing on a Wednesday, like, y'all come on, get up and do this, and get some of this and get some of this twerk on real quick. It was Wednesday, the middle of the week, people in the middle of their cycles. Wednesdays are like usually the worst days next to like Fridays, because they have to go a whole weekend without being able to see their specialists and their fertility doctors and stuff, right? And so I did this real silly reel where I was shaking my butt on Instagram, and after that it just clicked. And I just asked the creator, I was like, spirit, universe, all that is good in this world and the next, what can I do? Because I was tired of seeing the posts that were depressing and people were, and nothing is wrong with that. Don't get me wrong, because people have to have an outlet. But I was like, well, what can I do that can bring joy back into it? Because comedy saved me when I was going through it. You understand? Watching comedies. Even now, I don't consume certain content because if it doesn't feel right to my spirit. And so it just went off one day. You guys, I swear to God, it was like a light bulb. And the first fertility related reel I made was like hiding your underwear in the doctor's office. And you was running around in the doctor's office trying to find a place to hide your underwear. You know what I mean? And that was last September when they first started doing the reels on Instagram and taking away from TikTok and stuff. And so just a light bulb came off, and I just believe that if you truly are doing things from the core of your heart, and it's in alignment with love, it'll work out, because that's the first commandment, that if you believe in Christ or you believe in Allah or Buddha or anything, all of these religions have one thing in common, and that is to love thy neighbor as you would love yourself. So if you do it out of love, it'll always be blessed. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. And so the ideas just always come to me, because you got to have your heart in the right place. You know what I mean? Everything that's done from the heart and with the love of the universe in Christ will work out. It doesn't matter what you believe in and what God you pray to. If it is with love, it'll always work out. Always.
That's what it feels like to me. If you do it with love, everything will work out. And I thank you for finding the comedy, and for following the call. I believe that God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies who he calls. And we get called to something the same way I got called to Warriors without any qualifications. But just knowing that God, whoever you pray to, for me, it's God is saying to me, do this thing. And everything that you were saying, Monique, earlier about, not seeing the resources, even people that have been in the game a long time and being drowned out. That is what today is about. That is why I am so honored and grateful to both of you and to every woman that has been here. We have our miracle child. We have Latoya Dawkins, if she's still here, to come on. But that is why I am so, so grateful that all of y'all came here, because people need to know you. They need to know you so that we can stop the cycle of, I don't see people that look like me in this world talking this thing, even though we suffer from it 3 times more than our white counterparts. Our voices need to be loud and proud, Black, brown, all the things, and say our truth. And it matters. And we are here and we are serving this community, simply by trying to show up to make sure that somebody else doesn't have to experience it the way that we might have experienced it, or give them some information so that they know. So I'm honored. And what you just said is why we are here today. So I thank you for that, Monique. So again, tell us where we can follow you, where everybody can see your funny reels and hear your podcast.
The Infertility and Me podcast, everywhere that you consume your content: Facebook, Instagram, Apple Podcasts. I'm on all the platforms, you guys. Okay, I made it very simple, very easy. Whatever you like to listen on, tune in, Alexa, iHeartRadio, whatever you got, that's where I'm on. Okay, and I got 100 episodes on there for you guys to find your hope, find your inspiration, and find your tribe, and connect with me here on Instagram, you guys. We in these streets, y'all. We here for you, baby. We here for you, baby.
Listen, we are in these fertility streets. The fertility street is full, y'all. Don't let the world fool you. We are here. We are here. We are in these fertility
Brown
streets.
girls
And
are here. The
we are
brown
here.
girls are here.
And we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere.
And Kellee, I just can't even believe this right now, because you are one of the first celebrities that I've come into contact with, unfortunately, because of fertility issues and or egg freezing and stuff like that. So I appreciate you for connecting with us everyday little people, like myself. So, kudos to you, honey, because you didn't have to do it, but you did.
Listen, there is no everyday little people. I am grateful that y'all let me in the cool girls club. I am grateful. I am grateful for that. And this was a call for me. And what I knew that I could do when I started going through my journey and hearing a doctor tell me, a lot of women call here panicking, is, and some people know this, I wrote a movie about my fertility journey and sold it to a network, and you guys will see that, because we're gonna, fingers crossed, be shooting it this summer. But what I needed to do was to take my story and my aggravation with that language that women are panicking, and put it into my work, put it into my art, and that's why I wrote it and sold it. When COVID happened, it stalled that journey, that production, because everything shuts down, right? So Warriors became my way of staying in the community while my movie needed to wait it out. Little did I know that God
Little
was
did
like,
we all know. Hello.
That God was like, actually, babe, this is the thing. This is the thing that I need you to be doing. So for me, I say to you, thank you for welcoming me and allowing me in the club, because I ain't going nowhere. I'm in here now, and y'all gonna hear my voice all the time. And I'm gonna be here every week, making sure y'all's voices are heard, and making sure that people know you. So I appreciate you. I honor and I love you both. And I thank you. And I can't wait to do more work with you and collaborate soon. So thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful to have been invited. Thank you, Shaquita, for letting me in the club.
More to come. I'm going to bring on our last
All
lady.
right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you,
Thank
ladies.
you.
God bless. Blessings to you both. Woo! That throat chakra. I am going to bring on, and it's kind of beautiful that she's coming on here, because I will tell the story when she comes on of how we met. This is our last lovely lady, LaToya Dawkins. She is an author. She is an attorney, and it's saying that she's waiting to come on. But this is how God moved in our life. There she is. You girl. LaToya Dawkins, everybody. You said you brought your Kleenex?
I brought my Kleenex.
How are you? Welcome to Warrior Wednesdays.
Thank you, Kellee. Can you tell everyone how we met, please?
I will tell everybody how we met. So LaToya and I, it was just this week, correct? It was just a couple of days ago. I am never on LinkedIn. Everybody has that app, LinkedIn. Well, I have it, but I am never on it. And I'm getting my nails done for the first time in a year, and something tells me to check my LinkedIn. Something tells me. And I check my LinkedIn, and there is a message from this beautiful young woman, LaToya Dawkins, saying that she had signed up to be a part of the resolve.org United for Resolve event tomorrow night, and about the advocacy and wanting to, getting into the community because she has a fertility story of her own. And I hit her back, and then all of a sudden it was like an instant thing. And then we were DMing each other, and this just happened. And she was DMing me right before I had a Zoom with all of the ladies that you guys just saw, some of the women that were able to do a Zoom to talk about making this show work today. And so as she's DMing me, I'm like, girl, I got a Zoom with, hold on, send you a Zoom invite. You need to be a part of this community, and welcome, and it was about 2 seconds of, who are you? Come on the Zoom and get in the building. And so now you are here, Latoya. So tell us who you are and what your story is.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Kellee. I have been just the past couple of days just praising him and thankful to this entire community of warriors, to yourself for lending your voice to the community and just everyone. I've been so inspired by all of you just listening in today. I didn't have this community when I was on my infertility journey, so it certainly feels just amazing to be here with all of you and just being inspired and encouraged to know that we're not alone, to finally know that. And I had like a little note, because I'm type A, like I'm sure a lot of you are. It's like, like repeating some of the amazing things that all of you has shared. And I've been in the background with my Kleenex crying and saying, yes, that too. I went through that myomectomy, feeling alone, employers not understanding. So all of that, everything that has been said today, it's just uplifted me and my spirit. And Psalm 23 has definitely been resonating with me today, that surely goodness will follow us. And so wherever you are, before I really get into my infertility journey, I just want to say to whoever's on the live today, wherever you are in your journey, you are not alone, that we're here for you, that this amazing community is here for you. Kellee, just thank you again. And I don't want anyone here to leave not knowing that they are supported and encouraged, and we're here.
Yes, amen to that. We are here, like I said earlier, and we're not going anywhere, okay? We're only getting stronger together. That's why we're doing this show today. And that's why I was like, girl, get on the Zoom so we can get to know each other and tell me about your thing. So
represent.
Yes, exactly. PA got to represent. So let us know a little bit about your fertility journey. And I also want to hear about your book too.
So I'm a healthcare attorney, and I know that that's come up today, the healthcare industry. And I think that healthcare found me, the industry found me, not I found it. And I've been on this journey since 2008, when I lost my baby. And my husband and I really reeled, and I'm not sure if we fully recovered from that.
I'm so sorry. Let me pause you to let you know I'm sorry. And we, like I said, we on Warriors, we honor. So you guys, rainbows, we honor those angels that are with you. Okay, there they go. Just so you can see all of that love that we honor the space with you. So yes.
And so I appreciate y'all, because I feel that. I feel it. And, like I said, just being a type A and having everything planned out. You get married and you have the baby and that timeline. And that timeline just kind of going out the window 3 months into our marriage and talking to the doctor and finding out that I had diminished ovarian reserve, which really spoke about my equality at my age at 30. It's not something that I had prepared for, or not something that I even imagined would ever be me. And then, a couple of other issues like male factor and things that we've talked about today, and also fibroids. So signing up for my first surgery in 2015, having an abdominal myomectomy, was a lot.
Yeah.
But I had my mom, who's been on this journey with me since the very beginning.
Is mommy here? Mom! Hi, Mom! I don't know. I hope she would either peek in or show us your hand again, because hey, Mom, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Good to be here.
We honor you guys. Y'all better throw the flowers up for Mama. You know how we do, because Mama Stu is in the chat, and you got your mom right. But listen, my mom was with me when I froze my eggs. She was the one giving me the shots, and your mom was with you for the myomectomy and onward. So throw some flowers up. Let's honor our mothers that are here today, the ones that spoke and the ones that are here supporting those that spoke. So go ahead and continue.
Yes. So just going through all of that and being a working, first year associate, second year associate, going to law school at night and giving myself my timed Menopur shots in the evening.
Yep.
I
know the Menopur, honey. Yeah, I know.
Timed Menopur shots in the evening in the stalls of Seton Hall Law, missing out on lecture time, and at night taking the trigger shot afterwards, and us being like, I'm sure a lot of you have, where's the spot, having hit the spot at the did all of that, and just really going through it alone, and it's one of the reasons why I started the foundation. It's because I have a big Southern family here in North Carolina, but I didn't tell anyone but my mom and my dad, very, very tight circle, just the folks that knew something was wrong. Every Christmas that passed by and we could feel the absence of the pitter patter of, no children around, right? And holidays not being the same. And, you could just see the void that we were going through.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do something last May when I lost my husband. He passed away. And I knew I had to do something in terms of turning my pain into purpose, because if I didn't, that pain was going to consume me.
And I'm going to just say to you, and again, I'm so very sorry. And if you would allow us to honor him with some prayer hands and some crowns, as I know that he watches over you. So I must honor that. I must honor that.
Thank you. Thank you, Kellee. Thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for introducing us to him in the spirit of it all. Thank you for saying it. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your story. I hope you can see those prayer hands. I say I and we, but we here, we don't let something be said without honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, that was my father. My mom will tell him, don't call her. She's on live. Can you still see me?
Yes.
Okay, because I can't see myself. But yes, we don't say anything. We honor. So thank you for it. I hope you see the prayer hands.
Yes.
So we lost our husband.
Yes. And so I was joined by my minister, who's on here on the line, the amazing Troya Butcher from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, who's doing so much work herself and being an amazing advocate. But she was really there for me since day one. I've known her since I was born. Her father was my pastor. And she really just walked hand in hand with me. And she had a really amazing Good Grief series on her podcast where she really helped me recognize that I needed to turn my pain into purpose. And one night, Kellee, it just came to me in a dream, start a foundation for other infertility couples who are going through, and let them know that they're not alone. And while you're at it, I want you to write that book. And I said, oh my God, which book? Because I had been working on a novel in the meantime on my family history. And I thought back to the story, the children's book story that Joey gave to me for my 40th birthday while we were sitting at Ocean Prime on the corner of Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills. And it was On the Night You Were Born, which was a children's book. And I said, I know this boy didn't give me a children's book for my 40th birthday. but there was a reason. And God said, go back and write a children's book. And so I wrote On My Way, Howie and the Light, which is available on my website and on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles, where all the proceeds from the children's book go to infertility couples who do not have treatment, insurance coverage to cover the treatment through the foundation. And so
And God spoke to you in a dream, you said?
Yes.
Well, this is amazing because that's a reoccurring theme here at Warriors. And so I hope that people are paying attention to when their eyes are closed and God gets through. And you answered that call. Like you were obedient to the word. And what is so amazing, and I know some of you guys might not be able to see me. I can't see myself. But as long as you can hear my voice, because really, you know what? You don't need to see me, because maybe this is the way that God wants LaToya to be fully on this stage as I guess I can even say a newcomer to the crew, because we didn't even know each other before like 72 hours ago. And so you don't need to see my face as long as you feel and see her. And but what I will say is I think it's a beautiful thing that, having lost a child, you wrote a children's book.
I love children so much.
Ooh, boy, oh boy.
As someone said, Kellee, on here, asking God why. Like, let's not act like I didn't ask God why. Like, you know, I wrote a story. I tagged you in the story on the Center Daily Times in State College that ran yesterday. And I said, LaToya, you're joining all these amazing warriors today. Have you told your story? Ooh. And I said, yeah, on my About Us page on my website. And God said, really? Did you though? And so when the reporter asked me to tell the story, I said, okay. And I pulled out the photograph of our embryo that didn't make it, and I sent it to the outlets, and they ran the story today. And I said, you know what, God, use me, less of me and more of you, because I had no plans on being the spokes child, right?
Yes.
I love children and I wanted to know why. And I learned that I can't lean to my own understanding, that he had a plan for me that I didn't know about. And it was not to hurt me, but to prosper me. And so I just encourage all of you all that we talked about success stories, but what happens when the answer is no? Happens when the answer is no. I've sat so many times in my office in these firms and just putting on the face that I'm okay, and afraid that if it got out that I was going through infertility treatment and that how it would impact my career. And I said, you know what? Tell your story. Get out there and let them know that they're not alone, that I've been there. I didn't have coverage when I was at the firm. So many employers don't offer this unless they have the state mandate. So I know what you're going through. And I encourage you, even when the answer is no, I encourage you to keep going and to follow the light. And that's something that I wrote about in the children's book. It's called On My Way, How in the Light. When I had my myomectomy, my mother, as I was being wheeled into the operating room, my mother said, it was my first surgery. My mother said, you will see the light. Ooh. And when you see the light, you'll know that it's mother. She's there, my grandma. And when I got in that room, Kellee, I saw a light.
Oh.
And I knew it was my grandmother there.
Let me tell you. Look for that light.
It's there.
Yes, it is. Oh, LaToya, you beautiful creature, you. I need you to now give LaToya her flowers, because like we said, we haven't known each other but a minute, but we know each other. Yeah. And it takes, you know, I posted something the other day that it is an act of bravery to feel your feelings. It is an act of bravery to feel your feelings. That in and of itself is brave. But then to take it a step further, like you've done, and all the ladies that have joined today, and to put that pain into purpose and advocacy, and to speak that truth out loud to me and to us who you've really never seen or known before. But you trust God enough to know that when you make a decision about your life, God will conspire to assist you. He will conspire to assist you, and he will put in your path those that will pray for you, those that will hold your hand, those that will help you get to the next step, those that will encourage you, inform you, be a resource for you, whatever it is. When you make a decision about your life, God will conspire to assist you. And I want to thank you wholeheartedly. And I even said, because I was trying to get you on earlier for the live, I was like, I see her. And it wouldn't let me connect because the devil is a whole liar. And so when you came on last, I said, because I even said when I was getting you on, I was like, maybe it's supposed to be like this, that maybe you are supposed to have your moment to be heard, to be felt, and to be loved on. And I hope that we, the community at large, have provided that for you, because you have provided that for us. And you started out speaking by serving, letting people know they're not alone. And we want you to know you're not alone. So you are part of the crew now. So just so you know, everybody, all of my warrior friends, go ahead and follow her, DM her, let her know what's up. She's a crew member. And I thank you. So let everybody know where they can follow you, and one more time, where they can get the book and the name of your book, On My Way. Let them know.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kellee. It's on ourmiraclechild.com. We're on Facebook, Our Miracle Child, Howie and the Light, On My Way. They have their own webpage on Facebook and on Instagram. And I'm new to this. I told Kellee, I said, I don't know how to do social media.
Girl, you crushing it. Are you killing me? You are crushing it.
So thank you. So I'm trying, but I just thank y'all. I thank y'all so much. I don't feel alone anymore. And I just want to continue to pay it forward and make sure that that one person who's on here today knows that they are not alone, that we are here. We're in these infertility streets, like y'all said, and we're not going anywhere.
And we're not going anywhere. And you said something so profound about what happens when God says no. And I know that hit a lot of people. It certainly hit me. And I will say I had a conversation yesterday, and then I'm going to let you go. But I had a conversation yesterday about that very thing. And if there wasn't a child at the end of the journey, how would I feel? I offer this. I have given birth to so much more of myself being on the journey, that what I have gathered of me keeps my arms full. So if God didn't put a baby in my arms, now or never, he birthed something in me that still fills my arms up.
Come on.
Knowing who he is more, knowing I can trust his answer, whatever it is. Knowing myself better, having met you, having met Coach Jesse, Nichelle, Regina, everybody. My arms are so full. They're so full with all of you that there is nothing that I didn't birth by being on the journey. So God's no to one thing is a yes to so much more. If you can hear him, if you can follow his call. And I'm so grateful that you heard him, that you listened, that you started your foundation. I hope your arms are full today, sis.
Thank you.
I hope they're full today, sis. And I hope you know that today, being on this live, you birthed something new in you. And I can't wait to work with you more and to continue the work of God and infertility and awareness, and letting people know that they, in fact, are never, ever alone. So thank you. Thank you, my dear friend. Thank you. Blessings to you, my love. Blessings. You did a beautiful job.
Thank y'all.
You did a beautiful job. It was meant for you to close it out, honey, because we closed it out with a bang. So it was meant for you to do it. All right, you guys. Follow LaToya Dawkins, follow Our Miracle Child, and go get the book. And thank you, my darling. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you back. Love you back.
I'm gonna say love you.
Love you, mama. We love you, girl. We love you. All right, bye, my love.